Hi, everybody. How's everyone doing this evening? Welcome to the Friday edition of Burn It Down with Kim Brown. We burn shit around here. We burn oppression. We burn misogyny, misogynoir. Oh shit! God damn it! That son of a bitch. We burn commercials. Apparently not. You again. YouTube frequently will tell me that my videos are either not ad suitable. There's a list of reasons YouTube gives for either outright demonetizing some of my content or like be like, YouTube. I don't know how to feel about it sometimes. But what I do like about YouTube is that it allows me to come kick it with y'all twice a week at least. So thank you guys so much for showing up and showing out here in the building. We've got a good show in store for you today. We've got some good news. Oh, it's good news. Good news all around. Good news all around. Now, my first set of stories, which I'm not about to get into immediately, because I got to get into the chat and say what's up to everybody. But there's a lot of cops going to jail. Okay, they're going the fuck to jail, and it's a very particular breed of police that are headed to jail. And to remain on brand with some of the beats of this channel and platform and program, all these cops are going to jail for sexual assault and sexual abuse. And you'd really be surprised who the fuck is allowed to be school resource officers in our public schools where our children attend, right? Right. It just goes to show not only do predators and abusers come in all forms from all walks of life, but it seems to be quite the concentration of sexual predators who choose to be police officers. None of us are surprised by this information, but we're going to get into that. And there's 4 stories there, with the exception of one story. 3 of these stories that I'm going to talk about happened in a month, in a month, to give you another idea of how extensive rather, and rampant the amount of sexual violence is against our children being enabled by and perpetrated by police. We have to reframe how we look at the police, how we talk about police, how we discuss police in mixed company. My second set of stories is about the anniversary of one of America's most important dates ever in our history. And I'm talking about January 6, 2021. And I know that all the news outlets that you are going to watch this weekend, for those of us who may be dealing with some inclement weather, shout out to everybody in the South and the Mid-South and, the Midwest, everybody going about to get snowed the fuck in and shit. Y'all, they're going to be rinsing the fuck out of January 6th. And listen, it was not a horrific day. No. In fact, it was a revelatory day in which it revealed a lot of America's contradictions and the way that that America responds to quote terrorism, and the ways in which certain groups of people are allowed to overdo it when it comes to their right to freedomly assemble and protest. But for me, when I think about January 6th, I can't stop laughing. I can't, because the shit is hilarious. And we are going to enjoy some of that hilarity together. Y'all, when my enemies met in battle, we will always remember and commemorate January 6th. We're going to get into that in a little bit. And I hope you guys brought your J's. I hope you bought all your dabs. What you smoking out of tonight? You got a little peace pipe? What you got? What you got? You ripping bong hits? What you tripping shrooms? What we doing? We finna laugh at January 6th, everybody. It's gonna be a great show. So everybody get all your accoutrements together. Let me hop in here in the chat and say what's up to the folks. Damn, what's up, Donnie? There goes Afraid. Now there goes Northern Witch. What's up, DD? What's up to the hubby and to the family? What's up, West Coasters? All our Oregonians. Say what's up in the jump. Who else we got in here? We got Wendy in here. That means Holly is up in here somewhere. Oh shit, what's up, Sweary Fairy? Thank you so much for making some time and coming through. Oh, shout out real quick. Shout out to Lenny G. Lenny G is a new patron. Patreon.com/BIDWKB. Lenny G. Not to be confused with Kenny G. No, we got Lenny G. Way cooler than Kenny G. So thank you so much, Lenny G, for your Patreon support. We certainly appreciate that. There go Franny Francais. There go Franny Francais. Who else we got up in here? Is my family members in here? Where's my son? It's Tyler. Tyler, you late. Son, you better get in here for your mama get mad at you. But I just want to thank everybody. Oh, good. Anna Hart. There you go, baby. I see you, Anna. I told you. I can't even say it was a mistake that, that you were on the block because I didn't put you there. No one intentionally put, I don't even know how the fuck it happened. Like a mistake, somebody had intent behind to do that. No. That was not, it was, I don't know what the fuck happened, Anna Hart, but I'm glad to see you in here. Thank you. Thank Will. Will found you on the list and got you off the list. So shout out to Will. So yeah, I want to thank everybody for coming through. Thank you guys, Project Dystopia. Thank you so much for being in here. The Jasmine. Thank you, Jasmine. Who else is that? Oh, we got Eric B in the building. Eric B for president. Love to see it. Love to see it. You guys, I was struggling to find a third story today because I'm a fucking goofball. T.I. and Tiny was sitting right there waiting for me to talk about them. I wanted to watch the Cat Williams thing again. If you guys have not yet seen the interview Cat Williams gave with Shannon Sharp on his YouTube show, Club Shay Shay. If you haven't seen that yet, I highly, highly recommend it. Chances are you will end up watching all 2 hours, 40 minutes of it as I did. Couldn't get enough of Cat Williams. I had quite a bit of Shannon Sharp because y'all, what is it? How come the brothers can only be honest and be vulnerable when there's liquor involved? What is that? What message is that sending? Like, let me tell you the message it sends to me when I see shows like Drink Champs and I think Cameron and Mace get fucked up on their show before they start yammering off at the mouth, and here come Club Shay Shay, and let me serve y'all with the finest cognac. It's like, first of all, are drunk niggas accurate? Okay, like what's the accuracy rate of niggas getting drunk? I'm telling you, it's very low. The shooting percentage for drunk niggas is abysmal. Okay, it's very bad. It's very bad. Second of all, like the message is being sent to me. It's like, bruvs, like you need chemical. I understand alcohol loosens you up, lowers your inhibitions. And maybe me as a pothead, I don't have room to talk, but goddamn, I can have a regular conversation and even share some vulnerabilities without having to be under the influence of weed or otherwise. It's just weird to me. I'm like, why y'all gotta get drunk and talk? Because then y'all gonna be what? Drunk talking shit. And maybe that's the point, maybe it is I who is missing the point of the alcohol plus the conversation plus the revelation of lesser known or unknown things about these individuals. So you know what? I'm the square here. Let me shut up. I'm just gonna shut up. Anyway, what's up, Court? There go my baby girl. There go Court. Shout out to Latif, all of our mods. Peace to the Night Rider, the good bruv Chuck Diesel in absentia as always. Chuck don't never be showing up to work. But he show up to get his check. No, I'm just fucking with you, Chuck Diesel. Thank you so much for all y'all support. So, all right, y'all, we finna get into this. Now, the good news is, hold on, let me pull up my doc before we get rolling into the good news here. How's everybody's week going? Good, I hope. I hope you guys enjoyed the Remix Sporting Show this week. You got to see the return of Jacqueline Luqman this past Tuesday. Please go back to the Black Power Media and check out the Remix Morning Show if you had a chance to miss it. Or if you didn't miss it. Thank y'all so much for watching the shit. We appreciate it big time. So thank y'all. So anyway. God damn, where was I? Again, pothead, I be forgetting what the fuck I be talking about. Shit. Okay. Do me a favor, everybody. Give the video a like. Subscribe to the channel. Become a member. Do all the cool things. Like, share, subscribe, blah, 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 blah. So, as part of our ongoing Cops Ain't Shit beat, we love to take the time to recognize when police themselves end up on the wrong side of the law. And if you pay attention to local stories around this country on a weekly basis, dare I say on a daily basis, you will find police are on the wrong side of the law quite a bit. And mind you, these are just the cops that get caught, right? We're not talking about the overwhelming, I say, majority of police who are out here, as we would describe, ain't shit, not upholding the law themselves, and of course, applying the law unequally among races and classes. Yes. So I have a set of stories for you guys because some of these cops ain't shit is going to fuck to jail. And these motherfuckers are going to jail specifically for their abuse of children. Um, let's go to the Finger Lakes region of New York State, shall we? Where a former Auburn cop, hold on, I'm on my wrong story. A former Auburn cop has been sentenced to 2 years in jail after sexually assaulting a minor. Okay. Yep. We got his picture. Where's his pretty picture? We don't have his picture. God damn. Oh yeah. Okay. No. All right. I did want to see the nigga picture, Will, because we gotta put the pedophiles on the summer jam screen. Wilbur, come on now. Can't be out in these pedophiles and not showing their picture. Everybody gotta see it in their face. So, former Auburn school resource officer sentenced for sexual abuse of a minor. And this is in the Finger Lakes region of New York State, which, by the way, if you've never been to the Finger Lakes, god damn it, I just got off the wrong tab. It's a gorgeous portion of the country, I must say. It is mighty pretty up there in the Finger Lakes. So hold on, give me a second. I just somehow got off of my tab and I hate the world. But this particular officer, who has since been fired by the Auburn Police Department, like I said, he was a school resource officer at Auburn High School. And his 16-year-old victim describes that is where she met this individual. Hold on, let me get y'all this crummy nigga's name real quick. What is this doing here? Okay, so yeah, this is from Finger Lakes One News, and it says in Cuyahoga County Court, a former Auburn police officer whose name is William Morrissey III was sentenced to how long? 2 years in state prison for sexually abusing a minor. I want you guys to take note of the sentence there. 2 years, two in jail. William Morrissey, that's him right there. Morrissey, who is 34 years old, who served as a school resource officer at Auburn High School, faced charges including first-degree sexual abuse of a minor and indecent and disseminating indecent material to a minor. The 16-year-old victim, who was a freshman when the abuse occurred, bravely confronted Morrissey in court, according to prosecutors. She described how he exploited her inexperience. Yes, how he exploited her inexperience, causing lasting emotional trauma and distrust of adults. Take note of that also. That can be the lasting trauma of abuse of children. The article continues, Judge Thomas Leone, acknowledging Morrissey's betrayal of trust as a former police officer, sentenced him also for misdemeanors, everybody, including endangering the welfare of a child and official misconduct. It says the sentences for the misdemeanors will merge with the state prison sentence. So it sounds as though the misdemeanor charges will be served concurrently in addition to the 2 years that he has been sentenced. It says the Cuyahoga County Sheriff's Office arrested Morrissey following an investigation initiated by the Auburn Police Department. And it said that Morrissey had eventually been fired, and then the investigation pursued. And there he is, guilty. So there he is, former school resource officer William Morrissey the third, 34 years old, about to do 2 years in the bang because he exploited a 16-year-old freshman in high school sexually. 2 years, 2 years, 2 years. You can take that down, Will. And to be clear, y'all, so I have a theory, and maybe it's not a complicated theory. It's not like a far reach of a theory. When it comes to sexual predation, if he got caught and convicted of one, so that means he must have at least did a dozen, right? Like he must have did at least 20. You dig? Because that's not how predation works. Usually, predators are allowed for whatever reason. Either the victims choose not to come forward and say anything, which we know is completely understandable. And we do not fault victims who don't speak up. But guess what, guys? Some people do speak up. Some people get ignored. Some people's complaints are not taken as serious or taken as valid or credible. And that is one way in which some abusers are allowed to persist. Let's stay in New York, shall we? Let's go on to the island. AK Shallin, niggas wildin'. Old folks scream, stop the violence. Pop up that New York Daily News if you could for me, Will. Now, this one is a doozy. I'm not going to get into this one too deep because I've already told you guys what all of these cops are charged with, and hopefully going to jail behind. So we did, and I meant to give content trigger warnings, but I think I said it in advance what we were going to be talking about. So hopefully it's not taking everybody too much by surprise. And Will, at your convenience, drop this link in the chat when you are ready. It don't have to be immediately, because this article is really long and I'm not going to read the whole thing because the charges are pretty heinous. But just to give you an idea of the kind of people that are among the ranks of the NYPD, here we go. Staten Island NYPD cop faces new federal charges, including of sex abuse of a minor, and allegedly met some of the victims while on the job. Okay. I don't know what it is about these. I mean, I can't say young because not this story, but a coming story. The cop accused of sexual abuse is a damn near a kid himself. He's only 21, right? And this motherfucker right here, hold on, let me get this nigga's name right. Here we go. Officer Christopher Terranova, who was also 34. Yo, what year was these 34-year-olds born? What is this? What happened in 1989? What the fuck was going on? Officer Christopher Terranova, he was working at the 121st Precinct Station in Graniteville. I hope I have that right, New York. Correct me if I got it wrong. The 121st Precinct Station in Graniteville. Okay, when one of the victims he met was a 15-year-old robbery victim. I'm going to repeat that. This cop, according to federal prosecutors, allegedly made the moves and tried to groom a 15-year-old boy whom he met on the job. Why? Because the child was a victim of a robbery. Can you say this motherfucker is the most deplorable piece of shit? You fucking piece of shit ass pedophile bastard. In the course of your job, you out here trolling for teenage victims. I hope they put you under the fucking jail. Officer Christopher Terranova. Now, according to federal prosecutors, Officer Terranova made contact with this 15-year-old. So again, met the kid while taking his statement because the child was a victim of a crime. And then prosecutors allege that Officer Terranova accessed an NYPD database to obtain the boy's phone number in which he began contacting him. Initially contacting him very innocuous. Hey, it's Officer Terranova, the cop that you met at the 121st with your mom. Just wanted to see if you were okay. That's how the grooming starts, trying to gain some trust, build a rapport, inquire about the victim's well-being, to show some interest in, their feelings and how they're doing. Yep. Someone who is already somewhat vulnerable and perhaps even traumatized after being the victim of a crime. Again, piece of shit ass cop. Terranova went on to contact the teen several more times via social media, and then started to steer the conversation sexually, in fact, trying to solicit the child to send him explicit pictures of their, privates, et cetera, et cetera. And that's not the only victim, the 15-year-old, not the only victim. In fact, another one of Terranova's victims, according to prosecutors, was 12 years old, according to a court filing. This is from the New York Daily News. Terranova allegedly offered the 12-year-old a ride home, told the kid that he would give him a ride home. It doesn't say here in the article how Terranova and the 12-year-old victim were acquainted. However, when Terranova, the cop, showed up to give the 12-year-old a ride home, he in fact did not take the child home, according to papers, took him to a wooded area and assaulted the child. This person is already facing a number of charges, but now federal prosecutors have added more charges because they did a raid on Terranova's home where they found photographs and they found a safe containing information about victims. And he had notes, everybody. He had grooming notes on these children that included information like their likes, their dislikes, their religion, and their family information. And he also has correspondence between he and some of his victims that he kept in the safe, that law enforcement people found when they raided his house. And this, you guys, again, adults in positions of authority, in positions of power, no matter what, when there is a disproportionate power dynamic, the potential for abuse and exploitation is always there. And the tragic thing about kids is that kids are always going to be at a power disadvantage, right? Like, I mean, kids don't have power. Like, the period, point blank, full stop. Like, kids don't have voice. Even if they do they even have the words? Do they have the vocabulary? Do they have the confidence? Do they have the ability to speak up and advocate for themselves? More oftentimes, that answer is no. And the thing is, we condition our children to say and to believe that cops are officer friendly. Look at this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, does he work at a school resource officer too? Hold on, there's a lot of school resource officers on this docket. So no, not him. A cop in the upcoming story also worked as a school resource officer. But when you call the police for help and you teach your children that if you are in danger and you need help, you call the police. And this motherfucker shows up and tries to make a pass at your son. This motherfucker accesses the NYPD database, totally abusing his power as a cop to obtain information on a victim. Woo! I wonder how many of them they got working at NYPD. My guess is that Officer Christopher Terranova ain't the only one at NYPD. In fact, isn't former NYPD officer, current mayor Eric Adams also accused of some sexual impropriety when he was police? Huh? What's the likelihood that he did that shit? I say very. What's the likelihood? A lot. It's a lot. Eric Adams punk ass talking about, I don't remember. Yeah, nigga, I bet you don't fucking remember. You probably grabbed a lot of ass back in 91, motherfucker. Yeah, I bet your ass don't remember, you bitch. You know what? Let me calm down. I'm sorry, y'all. Let me resume. Okay, so let me please give content and trigger warnings for this next case that I'm about to tell you about, y'all. And I'm certain, I don't even know if anybody's still in here. Y'all probably like, Kim, if I wanted to watch investigative discovery, if I wanted to watch stories about bad things happening to people, I would just watch cable like a regular person, Kim. I don't come to YouTube for this shit. So for all y'all that is still here, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. Just bear with me. I'm here. I'm on a mission to make the police look bad, y'all. Sometimes we got to suffer through some shit in order for that to happen. So my bad. But let me offer again all the content warnings and trigger warnings on this one, because we're about to see a piece coming out of Pennsylvania, the Philadelphia area. Big up to Infinite Content. Infinite Content, I think you did send me this story weeks ago when it broke, 3 weeks ago to be precise, because this involves the Sharon Hill Police Department, Sharon Hill, Pennsylvania. Why do we know the Sharon Hill Police Department, everybody? Because it was one of them punk ass motherfuckers from the Sharon Hill Police Department that shot and killed Fanta Billy. I believe she was 8 years old, an 8-year-old black child. These fucking Sharon Hill, Pennsylvania police officers show up at a football game where, shit's kicking off, and these motherfuckers start firing indiscriminately into the crowd. And they murder an 8-year-old. So this is how we know the Sharon Hill Police Department. This is what we know them for. And now we're going to know them for something else. Because one of their officers, really one of their new recruits, recently sworn onto the force, is actually a violent, allegedly. Jesus, I hate saying allegedly, but I said it, lawyers. So when y'all pull that transcript, anybody try to run a suit on me, well, she did say allegedly, even though clearly she didn't mean it. I don't got to mean it, nigga. I said it, all right? So allegedly, right, this motherfucker allegedly is a violent sexual predator going back to his childhood. Yikes. And he's only 21. So y'all got to check this story out. This shit is absolutely bonkers. This one comes to us from 6 ABC News out of Philadelphia. Will, let's check it out.
Officer in Delaware County is charged with the rape of a teenager tonight. It's just one of 3 sexual assaults he is now being accused of, dating back years. The accusations come just months after he was sworn into the police force. Action News reporter Aliana Gomez has the story from Sharon Hill.
These very disturbing details involve former Sharon Hill police officer Tyler Humphreys, who was recently serving as a high school resource officer. He's facing a slew of rape and sexual assault related charges in Chester County involving 3 juvenile victims over the course of 8 years. 21-year-old Tyler Humphreys is accused of forcing a 9-year-old boy to perform sex acts on the suspect, who was reportedly 12 years old at the time. Investigators say the sexual assaults went on for 4 years, starting in 2014 in East Whiteland Township. Then last December in Charleston Township, detectives say Humphreys gave a 15-year-old girl alcohol and waited until she was intoxicated and unconscious to rape her. Around that same time last year, Humphreys allegedly gave a 19-year-old girl an excessive amount of over-the-counter drugs and sexually assaulted her while she was sleeping. According to the affidavit, the victim also told police that Humphreys had inappropriately touched and abused her when she was 11 years old. He was 12 at the time. Humphreys also worked part-time for Fulcroft Police and was recently a school resource officer at Academy Park High School in Sharon Hill. We received this statement from Sharon Hill Police Chief Richard Herron saying, quote, former officer Tyler Humphreys has been terminated from the Sharon Hill Police Department. All of the alleged allegations occurred prior to his employment with the Sharon Hill Police Department. Our thoughts and prayers are with the victims and their families. Detectives say they have physical and digital evidence corroborating the victims and witness statements. Of course, if anyone out there has any further information, they should contact the Chester County DA's office.
Yeah. All right. Okay, first of all, that statement issued by the Sharon Hill, who was the chief of police, saying that Tyler Humphreys has been fired from the department and all the alleged acts he's accused of happened before he was hired as a cop. Oh, so that tells me that y'all screening processes are bullshit. Like, oh, well, y'all can't properly vet rapists, Sharon Hill Police Department. I mean, just tell the truth. Like, you can, everybody, let's read through the lines here. What are the screening processes? What is the psych exam? What is the evaluation look like? What does the background check look like, Sharon Hill Police Department? Clearly, it ain't shit because y'all hired an alleged multiple serial rapists. let me say this also, everybody. And what up, Big Teal? Thank you so much for being in here. Especially for people that are parents, my parents, my parents, my parents. Parents, you got to have these talks with your kids, okay? Because your kids need to understand that it's not always going to be Father McKnight at the rectory, or it's not always going to be Officer Tyler Humphreys, who might be, your sexual abuser. It could be your classmate. The way the package was phrased there, it made a bit a little ambiguous, but Humphreys is accused when he was 12. He is accused of assaulting a boy who was 9. And as you heard, one of his alleged rape victims also says that he touched her unwantedly when she was 11 and he was 12. So we're talking about minors. I mean, except for when he was an adult and obviously still committing these acts. But it seems as though there is at least a 10-year period in which this person had a problem keeping his hands to himself, or had a problem with consent, or had a problem not forcing people into unwanted, or forcing his peers into unwanted sexual situations. And you guys have to have these conversations with your kids, man. Yeah, your kids could be getting sexually assaulted by their classmates, possibly by their teammates. There's a story here that I've covered in Montgomery County, Maryland, where the junior varsity football team, unfortunately, the name of the high school escapes me at the moment, but I have videos on my channel somewhere. One of the rites of passage for the JV football players was for them to be hazed in the form of them being R-worded, sexually assaulted, with a foreign object, right? In the high school locker room. Adults were aware of this. Like, it's crazy. So, and I've talked about this before. How do we get a hold of our boys? And I know you'll be like, "Yeah, what about the girl?" No, I'm not saying girls don't do bad shit. They do all the time. Not like boys do, y'all, and not at the rates, and not to the extent. And you can go argue with your pappy about that shit. Don't argue with me. Argue with these numbers, okay? Argue with these statistics. Argue with these stories. Like, I don't quite understand how some of our boys get to be this way, how they get to be so aggressive sexually, right? And again, we're talking with this individual, Tyler Humphreys. He was being sexually violent with other boys and girls, right? So it's indiscriminate. But we can't ignore these instances when they happen, especially even if the alleged perpetrator is a kid. If he's 11, 12, 13, 14-year-old, all the more reason to get a hold of that motherfucker right then and there. Because a 12-year-old kid who doesn't understand boundaries, or not understand, who doesn't give a fuck about boundaries, about consent, about not being violated, is going to grow up to be a 21-year-old grown ass man, possibly with a title, possibly with some power, who does not give a fuck about consent or boundaries or the word no, right? So reaching our kids, for fuck's sake, as soon as possible, to number one, help to end any trauma they may be experiencing at the hands of some of their peers or their classmates or their teammates, is one thing, but you got to get a hold of these fucking young predators before they grow up to be grown-ass man predators, okay? Whew, one more story. One more in this slew, because when I made it clear what this theme of this segment was going to be, Molly, you guys know Molly. Molly said, "Oh, wait. Cops ain't shit in my hometown either of Louisville, Kentucky." Molly sent me this story. Pop up that joint if you could, Dale Wilbert. Oh, did I pull up the wrong one? I did. Hold on. Because this happened not in 2023, just ahead, pardon me, 2020. Wait, what year is this? 2024. Right. So my 3 previous stories all have happened this year. Well, the NYPD cop story, his allegations stem from shit that he did a couple years ago, but the new news is that the feds are increasing these charges on his ass, right? But Molly sent me this story. This is from late last year. And this comes from Louisville Public Radio. And it says a $3.65 million settlement has been reached in LMPD Explorers program sex abuse case. And if you don't know what the who, the what, everybody knows what the Explorers program is, right? Where young men and women are encouraged to a career in the law enforcement field by getting to be explorers. I don't know, going on ride-alongs. They get to stomp motherfuckers out who who did they let the explorers get some little kicks in after the cops done yank somebody out their car for having something dangling from their rearview mirror and putting handcuffs, and they let the little explorers get their little kicks in. I'm joking. That's not what happened. Let me not joke. I'm sorry. I told you guys. Sometimes I will joke during inappropriate times. This is one of those times. My apologies. Let me get back to the solemnity of this because this is a very important story. So, it says that 7 plaintiffs in the lawsuit against the Louisville Metro government and against the Boy Scouts of America regarding the LMPD's Explorer program will receive $3.65 million after reaching a settlement last week. And this is last week, is not last week. It is sometime late last year or 2022, something like that. But again, there's so many of these stories, and and very few of them get any serious or significant national coverage. So a lot of times you'd be like, "What? When did that happen?" Yeah, because shit happens all the time, and it don't get reported upon. So the particulars about this briefly. It says the lawsuit surrounding abuse allegations, including RAPE. I don't know why I spell it out sometimes, and sometimes I just say it because I'm not. Anyway, y'all know what it is. Including rape against Louisville Metro Police Department officers who worked with the Explorers program. Oh, who worked with the Explorers program, a program meant to train and encourage youth to law enforcement careers. However, 3 former LMPD officers were convicted in federal court on charges relating to sex crimes following allegations that they used the Explorers program to abuse children. It says the first lawsuit was filed back in March of 2017. So, the Explorers program, by the way, has been suspended there in Louisville. I'm sure there are probably more folks that will likely come forward because, again, that's how predators do. They leave a trail. They leave a roster, a collection of victims in their wake. And if they were police, you can only assume that, I'm sorry, so you think these 3 LMPD officers from there in Louisville, what, they only abused these kids this time? No. Let's not be silly. Let us not be ridiculous. So again, when you have the police who themselves are the predators, are the sexual perpetrators, like, I'm sorry, what are victims supposed to do and think, right? Because you got to understand that on some level, many of the allegations that people bring forward, if they are brave enough to try to come and point the finger at a cop and saying that this cop harmed me, we know that the police officers all the time give each other the benefit of the doubt. No, what you mean? That's Mikey. That's me and Mikey go golfing on the weekends. Like no. Mikey has a wife. Mikey's a great dad. You can't tell me Officer Mikey is out here raping. I don't believe that. I'm not going to take that seriously. This person, look at this person. They're under the influence or they're intoxicated or look how they're dressed. You can't take these people seriously. But it's important again that we highlight and point out that police officers and police departments routinely hire sexual predators, psychopaths, outright racists, white supremacists, people who are homophobic, and people who hate women. Oh, and they're anti-black to boot, right? And then they get trained in, right? A lot of this stuff gets reinforced. The police are taught to have dominance and power over the situation. You have to gain control of the situation, right? These cops don't know when to turn that off, right? Anything they want or an outcome that they want to happen, they've been trained in how to facilitate that and to make that happen, to bring the situation under their control and into their will. And that, for all the talk about cops need to be trained better, they need to be screened fucking better. Like, I'm sorry, I blame the Sharon Hill Police Department. I blame the Auburn Police Department up there in New York. I blame NYPD. I blame LMPD. Like, obviously, you must want predators and psychopaths and white supremacists in your ranks. Because how the fuck do they keep getting hired? It's how y'all keep hiring these same Bammers? I know how. Either these are the people that you want, right? Like you want a psychopath patrolling the streets of Louisville, patrolling the streets of Staten Island, right? You must want a psychopath doing that. And it's just the cost of doing business. If we have a recruiting class of 200 and 20 of them are psychos and sexual predators, hey, a few bad apples. A few bad apples. In the eyes of police, a few bad apples does not spoil the bunch. And that is why police operate on a completely different plane of reality than the rest of us. And that's why, as an institution, they need to be discredited in your mind and in the minds and hearts of everybody within our community. Please go tell the others. Thank you. Let's take a break. What we got up in here? Chichi Macho, what's poppin'? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Halle Horn, thank you so much. Warren, Aura, thank you, Warren. Come through. Love to see you guys in here. Shout out to Teresa. Hold on. Shout out to Shirley. Who else do I do? Shout out to Black Magic. Shout out to Ursula. Shout out to Heloise. What's up, Stoner Loner? Trying to think of some of my folks that come through and drop shit later. Y'all comment later because I know you're not watching live. What's up, Jazzy Pooh? Who else? All my folks, them. Can I give a big up really quick to the Police Accountability Report, to the incredible reporting team of Taya Graham and Stephen Janis. If you're not subscribed to the Police Accountability Report on YouTube, please go do so. Because I realize sometimes when I'm listing off the people that I fuck with on here, how could I ever overlook Stephen and Taya? Like, I love them so much. They do incredible work, and they are amazing people. They are like some of the best people on earth. So go follow Police Accountability Report, all the places, please. Thank you. What's up, Feminist News Network? What's poppin'? All right, y'all come in here, get a video, a like, a thumbs up. Hey, big up to the people. What's up, Ghost of John? If y'all getting snowed on, be careful. They dropped a lot of snow down there in Texas. They said the snow's coming through Little Rock. They showed the snow in Hot Springs, Arkansas. They said the snow's coming through Memphis. Headed this way, even though the Mid-Atlantic DC area, we're gonna get rained on. So I'm assuming all my people out in Ohio and the WV, Western Pennsylvania, Philly, infinite content. They calling for snow up Philly. And why y'all finna get some snowed? Alicia, is it snowing up there in the Twin Cities? Y'all be careful, man. You know why? Because it's a cold winter. Y'all niggas better bundle up. And I better be a hotter summer grabber on you just to rock it down. We hot now. Listen up. Don't you know cops' sole purpose is to lock us down and throw away the key? But without this drug shit, your kids ain't got no way to eat, huh? I'm sorry I had to get that out of my system. Anyway. Hey, Niecy Alicia. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming in here. Oh, there go Lucretia Williams, not down with the Pilgrims. Thank you so much, Lucretia. Appreciate seeing you in here. Lucretia, so you logged off after the show early, right? And I think it don't matter. I can say this because I don't think it's a big deal. But anyway, so one of Ear Doctor's homies had texted him and was asking, "Who's that cutie down in the lower leg corner?" And Lucretia got the Mandem and choir ring. I just wanted to tell you that. I thought you would find that amusing. To be amused. Hey, there go Latif. Wait, is that Latif? Yeah, that is Latif. Peace, Latif. Thank you so much. He gifted 5 Burn It Down with Kim Brown channel memberships. Oh, snap. Thank you so much, Latif. I appreciate that. Big time, big time, big time. So, gang, come on in here. Give the video a like and a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Like, share, blah, blah, blah. Follow us around the internets, different places at BIDWKB. We certainly appreciate it. And, guys, you guys know how I feel about January 6th. Guys, I was in my house watching January 6th happen live, and I was blown away, right? I just kept saying, how I wish the ancestors was here to witness, to witness this moment that will live in infamy. And even though the mainstream is remembering January 6th in a very solemn and, Joe Biden was on the stump talking about we almost lost democracy that day. I'm sorry, Jim Crow Joe talking about democracy? Genocide Joe? You nigga? What you know about democracy? You built your Senate career taking democracy away from a lot of folks. The fuck you know about democracy anyway? I digress. Back to January 6th. January 6th, guys. Hold on. Okay, I'm so giddy. I don't even know where to start. So you're probably going to see a story floating around the news cycle about a survey. And just to show you how much I gave a fuck about the credence of the survey, I'm sorry, I did absolutely no journalistic due diligence to find out who created the survey, who the respondents were, how many people were asked, how many people responded to the survey. I didn't even care because I already kept talking about was the results. And the results basically came back that according to the survey, conductor of survey unknown. No, it's not unknown. I was just lazy. It indicated like 1 in 4 Americans are okay with political violence, right? And the pearl clutching around this information, I find it to be quite hilarious. And I'm gonna tell you why I find it to be quite hilarious. Because it's obvious that most Americans have no concept of how America fucking came to be, right? We don't know how we went from 13 colonies, you feel me, to a bunch of other states, to Louisiana Purchase, to Gadsden's Purchase. Like we don't even care about how all this shit came to be acquired. And it came to be acquired through imperialism, right? And the violence that comes along with that, but the political violence involved with that as well. With the United States government repeatedly entering into legal formal treaties with sovereign indigenous nations and routinely breaking them shits and becoming violent when they broke the shit, right? Is that not political? In some way, right? So all the pearl clutching about how could January 6th happen? Who child? I have a question. Who was the feds, FBI, CIA, DC Metropolitan Police, whoever the fuck? Who was they watching on January the 4th and 5th? Who was they watching? The reason I asked, on January 4th and 5th of 2021, surely the FBI and CIA had to have been watching fucking Al Qaeda. Them niggas was trying to see what the fuck Hamas was doing. Them niggas was watching Hezbollah. Them niggas was probably watching Black Power Media trying to figure out what the fuck we was doing that day. You know what them niggas was not watching? The goddamn internets. You know why? Because they acted as though they had no idea that all these rowdy, violent whites by the thousands were coming into Washington, D.C. They act like they had no fucking clue that these niggas was on the way. Who were the government law enforcement agencies watching on January 4th and 5th? That's what I would like to know. Can we go back and see the work logs for January 4th and 5th of 2021? Because I assure you, them niggas was not looking at Twitter. Them niggas was not looking at Truth Social. They wasn't looking at Parler. I don't know what the fuck they was looking at. Like I said, they must have been watching Black Power Media that day, right? Because they was not looking at what the whites was up to. I don't even know where to start here because I really want to get to the J6 footage because I love it so much. Oh, I love it so much. You know what, Will? We might start there. Cue that shit up for me, my nigga. Because here's the thing, y'all. We are gonna kiki about this shit together. I will always remember January 6th. In fact, I was telling Will before we went on air, dog, January 6th, motherfucking 2025, we might have a party out this bitch. Like we might actually have to have a live event for January 6th, 2025. I'm sorry, because my brain is operating. Because of course, you guys know I'm thinking about burning American flags all over the place for this January 6th party, right? But then, see, I can't say what I want to say because YouTube would probably ding me. But it might have something to do with uh placing something, with a rope around it in effigy, and maybe it might resemble Mike Pence. I don't know. I mean, I'm just spitballing here. I'm just spitballing here. So anyway, so we know that the U.S. Congress, when trying to impeach Trump, and obviously Trump is facing a lot of shit behind January 6th, whatever. It don't matter. Trump still shits on a gold toilet every night, everybody. So don't worry too much about Donald Trump. He's gonna be okay. Fret not about Trump's well-being and his future. I'm sure he'll still be shitting on that gold toilet this time next year. So fret not. Anyway, but Congress made a big deal about January 6th, the insurrectionists, the role that the president played in all of this. They did not make a huge deal out of the inside job portion of the J6 insurrection. We'll get to that after the clip. But anyway, we're going to run this, and I might laugh a lot over this. So you might hear me, and I actually even might ask Will to pause this in certain points. But anyway, guys, I can't be the only one who finds this hilarious. Y'all, when I saw the U.S. Capitol Police eating that bear mace, I said, nigga. Whoa. This is wonderful. Hollywood could never, ever conceptualize a fiction as immaculate as this reality that we are about to relive once again. Oh my gosh. Anyway, go ahead, Will. So I don't know how you want to do this, Will. Do you want to do a 2-box, or you want to just put the joint up and you could just hear me cackling in the background? How would you for production value? What do you think would be better here? All right. Well, thanks, Will. I appreciate that. So anyway, just run it. Okay, you running it?
You see, I got the box and I got you up too.
All righty. Okay. Well, go ahead and so you listen to the whoever the fuck this is in Congress. And the day our democracy almost died. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead, run it.
In the record, a video presentation of the violence of January 6th.
Put that shit on a record.
Yeah, just for awareness, be advised, there's probably about 300 Proud Boys. They're marching eastbound in this 400 block of kind of Independence, actually on the mall towards the United States Capitol.
Yeah, just keep an eye on them. Just keep an eye on them.
What's going to happen today? Because everyone's just going to have to watch for themselves. But it's going to happen. Something's going to happen.
As they had been predicting and promising for weeks before January 6th, by the way, that something was going to happen. Look at all the... Now listen. Let me tell you, I hope you guys can hear me okay. Like, let me tell you guys how much Americans do not know American history. Because in the course, name me a point in time during this miserable colony's existence that a horde of angry, violent, pissed off whites didn't mean trouble. When did that not mean trouble? When did that not ever mean trouble? It has always meant trouble. And the folly of the U.S. Capitol Police, the National Guard, the Congress to think that, surely they don't mean us trouble. The fuck. Anyway, we'll continue. I'm sorry. Here we go.
Understand the side. Pick a side. These are our streets. $20 a picture.
I hope Mike is going to do the right thing. I hope so. I hope so. Because if Mike Pence does the right thing, we win the election. All Vice President Pence has to do is send it back to the states to recertify. And we become president, and you are the happiest people.
That's it.
Mike Pence is going to have to come through for us. And if he doesn't, that will be a sad day for our country. Because you'll never take back our country with weakness. You have to show strength, and you have to be strong.
Cruiser 50, it does look like we're going to have an ad hoc march stepping off here. There's a crowd surge heading east.
We love Trump! 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 We love Trump!
Mike Pence, I hope you're going to stand up for the good of our Constitution and for the good of our country. And if you're not, I'm going to be very disappointed in you. I will tell you right now.
Hold on, Will. Stop it right there. Hold on. I mean, my God, for the president of the United States at that moment, the sitting president of the United States, to basically put a target on the back of his own vice president. Trump is the epitome of it be your own nigga. Mike Pence is like, nigga, I'm with you. Trump said, if Mike Pence doesn't do the right thing, he's going to be disappointed. And Trump supporters read that as hang Mike Pence. Ooh, chow. I'm sorry, Will. Let's continue. Let's continue. I'm sorry. When they gonna start beating on the police? Let's get to the good part. Uh-oh.
Look at priority. We just had protests. Circle, breach the line. We need backup.
Uh-oh, not hold door. Not hold the door. Not hold the door. Hold the door. Hold the door. Hold door. Oh, shit.
Madam Speaker, the Vice President and the United States Senate.
The British are coming. You know what I'm saying? Well, not the British, though.
We're going to give riot warnings as soon as the apparatus here. We're going to give riot warnings. We're going to try and get compliance, but this is now effectively a riot.
It's a riot!
9 hours declaring it a riot.
Cruiser 5 to 50, be advised, Cal Police 1 advised they're trying to breach and get to the Capitol.
Hold the door! Hold door! Hold the door!
We're about 5 miles out. We're trying to make our way through all this.
Let's go! Bring the motherfucking ruckus! Bring the motherfucking ruckus! Hey! Look at him. There's no place to hide when I step inside. Oh man! Whoa! Bam! I slam! Oh, look at that! Look at
We have a
that!
breach of the Capitol! Breach of the Capitol to the upper level!
Be advised they're requesting additional resources on the east side as they've broken into that window and they're trying to kick it in.
Pause this for me real quick, Will. All right, so y'all see that? We all saw that. Look at that. 2 o'clock. What time? 2 o'clock in the afternoon on January 6th. What time Trump speak to them people? About 11, 12? Nigga, in 2 hours. These motherfuckers had assembled a squad a battalion, a legion of insurrectionists who was able to overcome allegedly well-trained U.S. Capitol Police in a matter of minutes. Why? There's a breach. Oh, there's too many of them. Why? Help us. Why? They're punching us. Why? The bear base stings. Why? Y'all, I don't have no sympathy for these cops, and I'm going to tell you why. If that had been a comparable amount of black people, visibly brown people, obviously Muslim people, let it have been a commensurate number of protesters who had the same vitriol and temperament, the U.S. Capitol Police would have run out of bullets. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm glad all those fucking cops got their ass beat by all of them crackers that day, because every single excuse in officer murders, especially of black people, always leads off with, I was in fear for my life, right? You trying to tell me that rabble, that horde of angry, violent whites didn't put the fear of God in the U.S. Capitol Police? And the only cop to let off a shot was the black cop who shot that white woman inside who was trying to breach the Senate chamber? If that had been a black mob declared a riot at the steps of the U.S. Capitol, they would have run out of bullets. We would have seen missiles dropped on a crowd on the streets of Washington, D.C. We would have seen violence like we have never seen. But not for the whites. No. No. I know y'all say that the police be beating on the whites equally. Okay. I don't believe that, but okay. But obviously, cops are not trained to fuck up white people. And January 6th was a perfect example of that. Perfect example of that. Will, let us continue on. Here we are, 2:00 in the afternoon, and the Capitol grounds have been breached.
Without objection, the chair declares the House in recess pursuant to Clause 12B of Rule 1.
Mike Pence didn't have the courage to do what should have been done to protect
Oh,
our
shit.
country and our Constitution, giving states a chance to certify a corrected set of facts, not the fraudulent or inaccurate ones which they were asked to previously certify. U.S. demands the truth. Bring out Pence. Bring out Pence. Bring out Pence.
Bring him out. Bring him out. Bring him out. It's hard to yell when the barrel's in your mouth, busy. Yes. 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 Let's go. Our house. Yes. These brothers. Woo. Let's get it. Move, bitch. Get away. Get out the way, bitch. Get out the way.
We can't hold this. We're gonna get too many fucking people. Look at this fucking vantage point.
We can't hold him. Hold the door. Hold door said he can't hold on no more, y'all. Oh shit. Damn. Don't forget these people shit in the halls of the U.S. Capitol.
House members, they're all walking over now through the tunnels.
And you know what? Shame on that one U.S. Capitol cop, that black cop.
We're trying to hold the alphabet now. We need to
let them
open the
people.
doors of the Capitol.
Oh shit. You should have let them people get Mike Pence and Mitt Romney.
I need court support.
Look at these niggas! Jesus!
When you have these woke revolutions, it requires all of us at some point to say no.
Oh man, that's it.
We lost the line. We lost the line. All entities get back. All entities get back up to the upper
Oh
deck.
shit!
All
Our
entities
bullets
get
don't
back
work.
to the upper deck. ASAP.
For some reason, our guns don't work. We don't know what to do. How come they wasn't black? We would know what to do.
In Jack Cruiser 50, be advised that Capitol Police is going to start moving their resources inside. They're going to start the M4 officers first.
It's just 2:30, y'all. Look at what the fuck they did in 20 minutes. Look at what they did in 20 minutes.
H208 with 4 members. The door's barricaded. There's people flooded the hallways outside. We have no way out.
In fact, officers still remaining on the house floor, on the third floor, to use the subways themselves. It's time to evacuate so we can secure the members on the other side. Copy.
all right. Hold on. That's enough, because I'm telling you.
The American people.
Well, I will sit here for 4 hours watching J6 footage. And I mean, it's like, go get your popcorn, go get your favorite snacks, roll you as many J's as you can face to the face. Because, y'all, that shit, I'm sorry. Y'all, I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. I'm going to stop apologizing. That shit would never not be funny to me. That shit will always be hilarious to me. And fortunately for everybody, I didn't find, and I didn't really look that hard, but I know it exists. The footage of the cops outright getting their ass beat. Like when the niggas crying and shit, niggas getting eating that bear mace and eating all that tear gas and getting beat upside the head with US flags and Confederate flags. Tell me what part about all of that imagery and symbolism will not be awesome to me, especially as a Black woman. You feel me? And again, all of this talk about, well, we have to preserve democracy, almost done. Bitch, where? For whom? Whose democracy are we talking about? Like, who? Literally, tell me whose democracy we're talking about. Because when there were Black Lives Matter protests occurring in Washington, D.C., that did not, some of them met that threshold of people attending, and some of them didn't. But I assure you, the police presence was way heavier. I'm sure Black people protesting on behalf of Black lives were met with tear gas, were met with tremendous amounts of police abuse. And it is amazing how the whites, well, excuse me, not the whites. Shout out to all the whites. The crackers, the crackers that showed up at the Capitol on January 6th were treated with kid gloves. I didn't see not a tear gas canister, not a rubber bullet, not even a baton come out, right? And yet, all these instances of Black people murdered by police who had a cell phone in their hand, who had a wallet in their hand, who had nothing in their hands except for the fact that they were Black, and a police officer could use their Blackness as a justification as to why that officer feared for their life. But somehow, violent whiteness does not instill the same level of fear and terror that officers did not feel compelled to deploy any of their weaponry. Well, we know what kind of happened after J6 from the police front. Hold on. Police front. Let me get back to that. January 6, 2021 was the insurrection. October of 2021, 6 U.S. Capitol Police officers were disciplined for their actions on that day. And I found it really telling that a lot of local, national, cable, who name them, a lot of media outlets didn't pick up on that. 6 officers, 6 were disciplined. 1, in fact, was indicted for obstruction of justice. 1 U.S. Capitol Police officer was indicted. Under indictment, I think the indictment came down 2022, and I don't think that case has yet been adjudicated. But the fact that it exists and that it's not very well covered, I think is pretty interesting. So, because obviously, on some level, J6 was an inside job, right? The Freedom Caucus members, Boebert and the others who were giving tours of the Capitol to these would-be insurrectionists before the insurrection is partly evidence that it's an inside job. But I don't know the ranks, the positions in which these 6 U.S. Capitol Police officers who was disciplined and the one who was later indicted, what were their ranks? Were they supervisors? Was one of them the fucking cracker, not on this tape, but on one of my videos from when January 6th happened originally? Like, if you go back to the beginning, because J6 kind of happened around the time this channel was born. I got it. It's on one of my live shows. The cell phone video camera of a U.S. Capitol Police officer literally opening the gate, moving the barricade aside to allow the insurrectionists to gain entry to the Capitol grounds. I seen it. Like, it's not speculation. It's not, a false flag or none of that shit. That shit happened. What happened to that nigga? I would love to know. Maybe somebody can tell us. Maybe somebody with some FOIA access can get on that. But y'all, the idea that Americans, or 25% of Americans, 1 in 4, 1 in 5, I can't remember what the results of the survey were, are okay with political violence, tells me that Americans are just Americaning. Okay, like you have to tell me the point in this country's history when political violence was not the norm. Like, I can't stand this myth of American exceptionalism, and we need to curb stomp it until fucking unconsciousness. There's nothing exceptional about this country. This is not a peaceful place. Just because in the late 20th century, maybe we had a spate somewhat of domestic peace. And that is largely left up to interpretation, right? Because I'm sure Black, brown, and indigenous communities, gay communities would say they didn't have peace. You know what I'm saying? Just because it wasn't a war being fought on American grounds with a foreign adversary doesn't mean that a war of class and race and gender identity and sexual orientation hasn't been being fought here and waged against those on the margins forever. This is this country. It's a colony. It was settled via violence. It was settled via political manipulation and genocide. And it was created to become the wealthiest nation through slavery, through exploitation, through slavery. I think it's this whole shit with Nikki Haley. I think it's funny. I'm not going to go too off on the tangent of that. Y'all, Nikki Haley is from fucking South Carolina. Bitch, your state was the first state to secede from the Union. Bitch, you know all about slavery, okay? Like, stop fucking playing. Ain't nothing but plantations in South Carolina. The fuck is she talking about? But guess what? Nikki Haley probably going to come in second to Trump in Iowa. I'll jump out there with this prediction. I'm gonna say Nikki Haley's gonna come in second to Trump in Iowa because of her omission as of slavery as one of the main causes of the Civil War. Because crackers don't like that. they don't slavery. The slavery wasn't so bad for them darkies. So what? They had their children sold. So what? They had to pick cotton from sun up to sundown. They wouldn't have had. No, it would have been worse in Africa, says the crackers, right? Anyway, hold on. Okay, I'm off that. But back to J6. So J6, guys, Will, do me a favor. Run that video of the bomber. And I think it's silent. I don't think it has any sound. So you could just run it and I can yam over it. Because here's the deal. So thousands of crackers ran up in the Capitol on January the 6th, right? But this cracker didn't. Well, shit, actually, let me take that back. I don't know what the fuck they did, because this person, the FBI is still looking for. And listen, I need y'all to pay attention, because I suspect this is a violent white. And even though, you know, we don't tell, or snitch rather, to the cops, I think you can tell the cops on the violent whites. I think you can tell. Okay, so this person, the FBI still hasn't caught up with them. 3 years later, this individual, gender unknown, right, carrying a backpack, who planted bombs on camera at the Republican National Committee headquarters and at the Democratic National Committee headquarters. The FBI said that these bombs were very viable. The FBI still is not caught up with this person. And baby, that is the magic of whiteness. I love it. I mean, I don't love it. Let me rephrase. What I mean is, I love that the police are continually made to look incompetent because they don't actually solve crime. There we go. That's the part that I love, right? I do not love that a person would plant bombs on the streets of Washington, D.C., or in any city for that matter. It's in the Capitol Hill neighborhood, but for a long time, y'all, Capitol Hill, believe it or not, was a black area. Okay, gentrification has made that very much less so. But please believe, like, our folks walk these streets out here. I would not, under any circumstances, no matter how much I want America to fall, I do not want good people being blowed up by some fucking cracker nonsense, right? And but for the grace of God, that did not happen. But the FBI continues to show you that, you know, they ain't really on top of shit. They ain't on top of shit. If it was a bunch of brothers in the basement talking about blowing up the Sears Tower, isn't that what they did to a group of you know, misguided young black men? The FBI, now I'm fucking it up, but you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. Let it have been them. Let it have been some black folks talking some extremist stuff with no actual plan or concrete ability to enact any kind of violence behind it. They'd have had them niggas, okay? Like, them niggas would have been brought up on charges, and ain't none of them niggas bought shit. They didn't buy a bomb. They didn't buy no bomb making materials. They sent a couple texts, and all of a sudden they under a RICO conspiracy charge, federal charges. They doing 20 years. Not this cracker. This cracker walk around free as a bird. And here's the thing. So the FBI, the reason I'm encouraging y'all to snitch, by the way, and I want you all to look at that video, because that might be Scott from your job, okay? And you should go absolutely tell on Scott, okay? You should totally go tell on Scott. And because part of the reason you should go tell on Scott is because the FBI is offering $490,000 as a reward to catch Scott. I don't know his name is Scott. He looked like a Scott. And I know you're like, Kim, how can you tell he looked like a Scott? Because he was wearing a hoodie and a mask. I don't know. Okay. Don't ask me questions I don't know the answer to. Scott, like I said, Scott. Anyway. And I'm telling you, it is probably Scott from your job. And some people be like, well, how can you tell? Well, Scott wears a hoodie. I mean, you put a hoodie and a mask on Scott, that motherfucker on that video looked just like Scott. And y'all should tell on Scott. Y'all should tell him, especially if you don't like Scott. Especially if you don't like Scott. Because it is clear they are not looking for a Kareem. Okay? No. They are looking for Hudson. Scott. Go tell on Scott. Go tell on Scott. Because guess what? If it was some Black Lives Matter shit and Scott thought your ass was out there on video, Scott wouldn't hesitate to drop a dime on you. Okay? Go tell on Scott. Anyway, what was the other thing I had to say about J6? I'm going to be reposting some of our shows from when we covered January 6th when it happened. I got to say, and let me credit to Sean Michael Love from Black House News. Shout out to Chuck Modiano, the God. You know, Chuck and Sean was out there on January 6th. And the footage that I have from my episodes from then, from my shows taken from that time, we took some of Sean's original footage. And them rackers look scurry, y'all. Sean is black man, okay? Chuck! Damn it, Chuck is an ally. Chuck was trying to shield Sean with his whiteness. Chuck was trying to shield Sean with his whiteness. Oh, because Chuck was in disguise. You know what I'm saying? You could be in disguise when you're white. You can go anywhere when you're white. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of your politics. And remember, radical whites, don't y'all forget that. The crackers would never know y'all are radical until you tell them, right? Your whiteness is assumed. Just because you are white, you are assumed to be down with the white shit, right? And I need y'all to use that to y'all advantage. You know what I'm saying? Don't go in there all radical and shit. We need y'all to be surreptitious. You know what I'm saying? Like Chuck Modiano, but Chuck lets his politics be known. But fuck, again, for the crackers that don't know Chuck, they see Chuck and they see white man, so they think friendly, yeah. So anyway, we got some outstanding footage from Sean Michael Love and from Chuck Modiano from the day of January 6th, taken from the perspective of the street, not this congressional edited shit, not this MSNBC shit that don't show the role that the cops played and don't fully show the cops getting fucked up like that. So I'm gonna be posting those to our community section over the weekend to commemorate the anniversary of January 6th, a day that will live in infamy, a day that I am just so honored. I feel so blessed, honestly. I'm not even all jokes to the side. I don't like, and maybe hate is hate. Can I say hate? Yeah, I think hate is fair. I hate white supremacists, period. That's it, period, point blank, full stop. The police are an offshoot. They are a pillar of the institution of white supremacy. Wait, I said that wrong. Therefore, ergo. I'm not high. Let me try that again. Therefore, ergo, I ain't too kind of the cops either. So when the white supremacists and the police meet up, and it's just them, right? Not a nigga in sight. Okay? Not a pro-Palestine rally in sight, not a free Haiti rally in sight, like not a Black Lives Matter protester in sight. It's Blanco y Blanco, right? You know what I'm saying? It's white on white. And the racist whites, the mob, the racist gaggle, horde of racist whites won. And if you pay attention to American history, they always win. When has the racist horde taken the L? I'll wait. It's not too many times. And this was not, as a lot of people seem to think, this was not a white trash assembly of whites that support Trump. And these people, this economically disenfranchised, this economically frustrated, segment of conservatives that are just not happy with the way America was going. The J6 insurrectionists were politicians. Some of whom were elected officials. Some of whom were active and former military, active and former law enforcement. Some of them flew there on private jets. Some of them were business people. Some of them were real estate agents. Some of them were teachers. Some of them were contractors. My point is, these were the whites from all walks of life, okay? Well-off whites, not so well-off whites, okay? White being the unified bond there of it all, right? Of course there was some tokens sprinkled in there. There's always a wayward nigga or 3 or 4 to be found amongst the rowdy whites, but they just trying to be down, so fuck them niggas. But anyway, it wasn't, them niggas wasn't in charge. Well, that's not true. Enrique Tarrio was in charge, and look how they did that motherfucker. As well they should have. But my point is this is not over. This is not finished, because those folks haven't gone away. And in fact, out of the 1,200 arrests and 1,200 January 6th insurrectionists who have faced federal charges, I believe there have only been 700 convictions, and they're still looking for hundreds of others more. So the state still is inept and incompetent in even trying to find those that perpetuated an attack upon the greatest symbol of power that this country has, the U.S. Capitol, right? Even then, the police are still falling down on the job. Can't even get all of them. And I can only assume maybe they don't want to get all of them. maybe a few of them niggas, they just let them live their life and go on about their business. And please don't be surprised if 5 to 10 years from now, we're still going to be talking about that bomber that the FBI hasn't found. We're still going to be talking about the hundreds of other insurrectionists that the FBI never caught up with. Why? Because whiteness works amazingly, okay? It works as an amazing protector. It is an amazing disguise. You can blend in if you're white. You can do a lot of shit if you're white. And I know we got very much regular white folks with us here, working class whites. Some of y'all come from you know, economically challenging backgrounds, but my point is, yeah, but y'all are doing the whiteness wrong. y'all, y'all are not whiting right. Let me teach y'all how to white. Just go in there, ladies, dye your hair blonde, put them girls up, you know what I'm saying, and just get your diction right. You know what I'm saying? You white people can fake being the proper white. I can't fake being the proper white because I ain't white and it's obvious. That's where black people always fall short, right? You can have the most perfect diction, you can have the best education, you can have all the wonderful qualifications, but you still show up as a Negro. Okay. And that's always going to be your downfall. That is always going to be the thing that gets held against you. Whereas our white friends can assimilate and step right into that whiteness. Just put it on, baby. It's a well-fitted, it's a snuggly sweater. all this protection. Oh, this whiteness feels amazing. This whiteness. Oh, it's so cozy. I could go in the store and steal. Won't nobody say nothing to me. Watch this. I'm gonna go in and steal everything. And my whiteness works as a shield. Watch, nobody gonna say nothing to me. Watch this, watch this. Anyway, guys, let me call that a night. I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. I'm sure the cable news networks are going to be rinsing the fuck out of January 6th footage, and I encourage you to watch it. I encourage you to get your psychedelics, get your mushrooms, get your marijuanas. I don't support alcohol consumption, so I'm not going to tell y'all to do that. But, get your inebriation in a natural way if you can. And just enjoy this glorious attack on the biggest symbol of power that this country has, and just enjoy the people that were the ones doing the attacking. Oh man, it was almost like the War of 1812. That was the last time the U.S. Capitol has been attacked, by the way, and breached, by the way. Before January 6, 2021, it was the British in 1812. So just to give you a historical context of literally the event that we all got to witness. We really got to witness some historical shit, and I never want you to forget it. I want you to tell your children about it. I want you to get in the rocking chair and put your kid on your lap and tell them about the day that the police, tell them about that day that the police had to eat that bear mace, baby. It was what a day. And I hope you tell them the story of John Brown right after that. But anyway, I'm gone, y'all. Y'all have a great weekend. Wilbert, come here, Will. Get on, get your ass up here, Will. Will got to turn his TV. He got to go turn his movie off because he ain't be watching.
What's up?
What you up to?
Chilling.
Can I just ask you your thoughts about January 6th before I let everybody go? Where were you on J6? Let's start there.
Oppressed, and I don't know. I don't know. I wish I was there.
Why?
I'm gonna stop.
They would have shot you.
I don't want to incriminate myself because it looked fun.
Will,
it looked fun.
Let me tell you something. If they'd have seen your big black ass down there, the police would have told all the crackers punching them in the face to move out the way. Get out the way. There's somebody behind you. Danger. They would have shot. Dog, they would have shot past 100 crackers to shoot your ass specifically.
That would have been the one person in handcuffs in that whole thing. Move, make a bad.
Yo, one of the funniest comments I saw online after January 6th is when after the shit was over and them niggas is just walking down the Capitol steps. Did a concert just let out? How are y'all just strolling out of here? Like the let out at the club. Like them niggas was talking and shit, laughing, exchanging numbers.
They all
Nothing
went to Cracker
happened.
Barrel after that.
It all went to Cracker Barrel. Well, actually, they all went to the DC Hyatt, allegedly. They was all at the Hyatt on 9th Street, I think, drinking at the bar. But anyway, y'all. Anyway, Will, you don't have no good thoughts on January 6th. You ain't down. You ain't for the culture, nigga.
No. I was out here surviving.
All right.
We were just living the dream. Let's come out with a mixtape about it, though.
I think we should have a
Let's
party.
say we was there.
I mean, we should totally have a party. But see, that's the thing. I don't want y'all, the viewers, like, I don't want y'all to get caught up in my shit, because as soon as the video gets out of us or me or somebody burning an American flag, look at this anti-American, blah, blah, blah. I don't want y'all to get caught up in my shit. I don't have a problem burning an American flag on camera. That's fine. They're freedom of speech, bitches. But anyway, I'm sorry. Anyway, well, okay, I'm gonna let you go. You ain't got nothing good to say.
All right, friends.
All right,
love y'all.
All right, gang. I'm gonna see y'all next week. Please be sure to join us on the Remix Morning Show on Black Power Media, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday mornings, 8 a.m. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Peace to Big Teal. Peace to Holly. Peace, Sugar Shan. Thank you so much for coming through. Oh, is that DJ Vesper X? What's up, DJ Vesper X? I'm sorry, I can't read very well. Give me a second. I just started scrolling. Anyway, guys, thank you all so much. Maybe next week. Anyway, I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna talk about. I did want to talk about T.I. and Tiny, but I forgot. And maybe I won't forget next week. So there's that. So anyway, thank you guys so much for kicking it with your homegirl. Please, like I said, be sure to give the video a like on the way out. We are over 4,000 subscribers, so y'all know what's up next. 5, I guess. I guess 5,000. Shit. You know what I'm saying? We gotta set goals and whatnot in the new year. So help us get to 5,000 subscribers. Tell a friend to tell a friend. We certainly appreciate it. On behalf of Will and Molly, love you guys to pieces. See y'all later. Bye bye. Have a good weekend, y'all. See.